You're about to see how to significantly outpull your competition and get more clients, more students, more customers than your competition, even if they have a larger following using Instagram. This is mainly for coaches, consultants, creators, typically anyone with a program above $1.5 thousand. So let's jump right into it. So my name is Imam Gaji. I'm the founder of Alkavoy, a marketing agency that helps coaches, creators, consultants sell more of their coaching products, typically at least $20,000 per month in the next 6 weeks, or it's literally free. And in this video, we're going to be going over the mistakes you're making in your content funnel that's costing you a significant amount of high intent leads. But good news, your competitors will also make them too. How to outpull or run circles around them, your competitors, by fixing one or more parts of the funnel and actually converting them. So for context, this is mainly going to be about getting leads, and then I'm just going to touch on like how to actually convert those leads. And in a separate video, I'm going to talk about like our entire conversion system. So for proof, we generated $40,000 for a client, Natalie, with just 2.5 thousand followers. We generated over $40,000, and at 1,000 followers, we're at $20,000. We just kind of like post stuff for a while, and basically let's just jump right into it. So basically, there are two ways to get more sales for your coaching offer, of course. Now, technically, I'm talking about Instagram right now. So you go through the viral videos route, or you prioritize talking about high level stuff in your niche. Basically, you're going to attract people who pay more dollars and more money, basically. And that's the exact same way we did for Natalie, actually. I'm going to go through both of them. So first of all, here's what coaches and creators do wrong. You tend to follow the viral video route and then get sidetracked with views. You get sidetracked with views and forget that the most important thing is sales. So basically, you focus on the top of your funnel by making generic content in your niche and not doing the next step, which is funneling them down to content around what your offer is. So for context, this is mainly like, when you're trying to like keep on creating the next viral video, and you like completely forget that, like, you completely do not make content surrounding your own offer. And I see this with a lot of coaches all the time. For example, you see the relationship coach that talks about, who should be on the first date. Now that gets a lot of views, but the problem with that is that it has no depth. Nobody's willing to pay $1,500 or $2,000 for your coaching program if they think that the main content you put out is basically like who pays on the first date. Like, it's not a problem that people are willing to pay for. Like, this is just something controversial. Now, it gets a lot of views, but you can also like kind of like funnel it. But like I said, you basically get sucked, or like a lot of coaches get sucked into like the competition to get more views viral because of like the dopamine hits it gives us. And then you just like completely forget about it. You don't do anything about it, which is completely wrong. And I'm going to talk about how to fix it. But basically, ideally, like when you talk about stuff, like, because it has no depth, when you change it and talk about stuff that are more like high level, like, problems in a relationship, usually kind of like marriage, that has like significantly more emotional investment, people are more likely to, consider your stuff and are more likely to pay your high ticket coaching program, because what you're talking about in this case has a lot of depth, basically. So that's it. So an example is, like I said, the reels with the B-roll and audios that says you should read the caption and comment stuff. You see a lot of this in the in the business space, make money online space. Like, yeah, the videos go viral, but like, how many customers do you have? Like, let's be frank. Like, how many customers have you gotten with that style? Depending on like how you actually do it, you funnel them to an email list, and then you try to actually sell stuff like using acquisition systems like we do. Then yeah, you probably will get a lot of clients, but like most people don't actually do it. So they just do it for the engagement purposes, which is the mistake. So like I said, they get a lot of views, but then you build an audience that are lukewarm and don't even think you can help them. They might have a specific problem, for example, but simply do not know that you can specifically solve those problems. So two things happen. You can either make, like, this is mainly in the make money online space, by the way, like the different markets, or like, fitness or whatever. You make unrealistic promises to get more sales, basically, and then in the long run, you basically get caught, and then everyone thinks of you as a scammer. You have to leave the market. You have no longevity. Like, it just sucks, man. Then, or secondly, you get very, very little sales compared to what you could be making, which I would argue that that's what a lot of coaches, creators like, basically, like, this is like this second particular stuff is what they actually face. But the good part is that your competitors are also doing it too. So by fixing or changing even a single part of this funnel, you instantly get an edge over them. So now let's fix it for you. You see what you're supposed to do is that when you create content, like generic content, like, for example, like in the you make let's say you teach people how to make money using high ticket sales, right? When you make generic content, the sort of content that you make is basically like, the type of cardinal mason content, like, money, like, why money is important, blah, blah, blah. This video goes viral. Then the next 2-3 videos that you actually see is what you're supposed to do is now take them down to the education route. You want to talk to them about why your solution is the best. Like, you want to start educating them about the importance of having your solution. At this point, you do not mention that you have a solution. You do not mention that you have a course. You do not mention anything. You just talk about like the solution. Like, you just kind of like want to indoctrinate them, basically, like let them see things from your point of view. And like, if you try to lie about this, like, you eventually get caught and like you basically lose all credibility. So I advise you, like, be completely honest with this. But like, the key here is getting them to believe that your solution is exactly what they need. So like I said, high ticket sales education, high ticket sales, make money using high ticket sales. When you talk about how money is actually important, then you can go to the next level and talk about how sales is the best way to make money. You can talk about like, you can take it from your bedroom, you can do this, you can do that. You basically kind of like want to explain that sales is the best way to make money online. You can get a sales job, do it for like a year, then start cash, pivot into something that you actually want to have passion for. You get social skills, you just basically educate them, talk about the experience. And basically at this point, you kind of like want to bash other make money online schemes, like sort of like drop shipping. You want to bash agency, you want to bash a lot of things, basically. So like, if you're in the fitness niche, for example, you can bash other diets and like talk about your own diets, your own method. But at this point, you do not, like, no matter what you do not ever talk about like your own products yet, because when people see that you have a product, then they instantly know that you're biased, and it's not good. And then finally, basically like your next probably one video or so, then you actually want to sell your solution. So you do this mainly by using kind of like stories. You use this by doing stories, or you actually like tell them that you basically sell your solution. So how you actually want to do it is you like kind of make a case study reel, sort of like a 1-minute VSL. So it's mainly like talking about what you have, what it will do for them, and what they should do next. So you kind of like want to say, okay, here's what I got. I think if you check this stuff by John Carlton, he explains this very well. You basically want to talk about what you do, or in this case, you sort of like want to give a case study of somebody who has actually succeeded with your coaching, and then get them into your funnel, basically like email list or something like that. And then you basically sell your solution. Now this actually works significantly well. Now this is to get the leads. Like I said, we're going to talk about the conversion at the end. Or the second way, which is personally the way I prefer. Now, I'll have to warn you though, with this sort of like method, you won't really get a lot of views, but the quality of views matter. I don't know if you've seen this Hormozi video where he talks about this lady has like 5,000 followers or 6,000 followers, but she makes over $1 million a month with her Instagram, mainly because of like, she just talks about one thing. Like, she just talks about one thing and how I don't know, man. I think it's something about insurance for like dietitians or something like that. But basically, you want to talk about like specific problems, high level stuff in your niche. So, for example, let's say you're in the relationship market, for example, you want to talk about like how to rekindle the relationship within a husband and a wife, like how they can stop living as roommates and actually start living as partners or something like that, basically. So that is specifically what you want to talk about. And then basically what makes this work is specifically targeting the pains of your market. So ideally, you want to talk about the high level stuff is basically like the problems they're actually facing. So how you actually do this is basically you market from your product. You actually market from your product. Now this works specifically if you have a lot of clients, or at least you've done consulting. Like, it doesn't need to be a paid client. If you've had people ask you this question, you then market from that stuff that you do. So for example, someone asks, okay, we'll get there. I think I have the framework for that. So what you do is you use specific content gotten around your client's questions, or your customers' questions, to create content like that. So ideally, like, when you have a client and they ask you a question on like something, what do? You basically, first of all, you tell them what to do, you tell them how to do it, and you basically make them do it now, right? Or you tell them what to do next. But for content, basically, like, you shouldn't be giving all your stuff for free. It doesn't make sense. So, but for content, you actually tell them, like, the idea behind this, you actually tell them what to do. Like, you only tell them what to do. But the idea behind this is that if your clients ask you those questions, for example, if your clients ask you those questions, like, think about it. These people paid to ask you those questions. They have the pain. they are in the market, like they're still in the market. As far as they haven't like solved their problem, as far as the problem hasn't been solved completely, that they leave the market, they are still in the market. So you know that these people legit like paid you to ask you those questions. So you're like, you know that these questions are like pretty legit. Like, you know, there are concerns that like they actually want to, like they actually want help with, right? So basically that's what you do. You take those questions and talk about only what to do. When you talk about what to do, you don't really need to talk about how to do. Like, they can go figure it out themselves, or they have to pay you. Like, you don't really need to, like, you know, you don't really need to accommodate people and stuff like that. But like, you want to talk about how to do, because of when you talk about this, not only do you give like genuine value, people love you and appreciate you for it, but you come off as someone capable of handling such high level problems that they have. So if you if you talk about, like, if you talk about how you solve, how you probably remove, if you keep on talking about how you like uprooted a plant from, you know, how you uprooted a plant from like the ground. This is probably a stupid analogy, but whatever. How you like uprooted a plant from the ground. People would look at you as the person that uproots the plants from the ground. But when you talk about how you fell a tree in like 3 seconds or something like that, people look at you as the person, or 3 minutes actually. People look at you as the person that can actually like fell a tree in like 3 minutes. You understand what I mean? So basically that's it. And when you come off as someone capable of handling such high level problems that they have, they basically come to you to learn how to do it, just like I'm doing right now. Like, I'm showing you how to do this. So if you do not know like exactly how and all of the systems, you can just go to arcavoid.com and then you can, you know, check it. You can check out my videos, like basically explain every single thing, and then you can book a call and stuff like that. So when they come to you to learn how to do it, or they come to you problems on a similar scale, because you've shown competence that this is the type of problems that you solve. Like, basically that's what you do. Then you go to the conversion and acquisition system. So like how it basically works, I'm going to make a separate video on this, but this is basically like the end of the video. So if you have some followers already, like based off of the questions, like the content you've actually made them go through right now, you now DM them with a free lead magnet. So how this works is you probably say something like, you know, hey, I appreciate you for following for a very long time. I'm giving out resources on this or that. Which one are you struggling with, or which one would you prefer? So if it's fitness, it's going to be, I'm giving out fitness. I'm giving out a guide on building muscle or losing fat. Which one do you want? You get the point. Or if you're starting from scratch, you actually want to run ads. Like I said, I'm going to kind of like make this in a separate video. But basically, you want to run follower ads or like video views ads, just to get people into your ecosystem. So when you get people into your ecosystem, you basically also give them a lead magnet, or you sometimes just like DM them directly. And then when you do so, basically just set them. You basically just like you ask them, hey, what is what you're actually struggling with right now? They tell you tell them to give you a high level overview, and basically like you just ask them like, hey, do you want my help? And usually they say yes, actually. So I mean, like, not all of them. You probably get like 20% of people to say yes. Like, we actually have been doing this with a client, and it's been like ripping, absolutely ripping. So yeah, that's kind of like a high level overview. So this basically comes to the end of the video. I'm just making YouTube videos. I don't really know how to end videos like this, but you get the point. So just go to arcavoid.com, check out like the video on the page. I explain every single thing about our process and all of that stuff. If you're interested, you can just book a call from there, and then, you know, you get started instantly. So yeah, basically that's it. Subscribe and like my video so you can get to more people. Bye.